morning everyone, how are you doing my loves? It is the 15th of November and this is Natalia Angel Lady coming at you live, beaming into your Facebook wherever you are in the world on this week of the full moon eclipse in the sign of Taurus. So any of my Taurus followers, this is your full moon, this is your eclipse. If you've got your rising sign or your moon sign in Taurus as well, that's a big one for you too. And it's a big one for all of us. That's why I'm going to do a special kind of live reading today. So we've got our interactive reading here. So pick a pair of angel wings for your eclipse message this week. And I'm also going to do a charm casting for us collectively for this full moon eclipse to see what I can see, what are the areas that are going to be touching our lives most profoundly, that's easy for me to say, most deeply for this full moon eclipse. How are you all doing? I hope you've had a wonderful weekend. Now I've got 20 of you joining me already, which is very exciting for me. And I want to say good morning to everyone. I also, before I start saying good morning individually to people who are here live, I never underestimate how lovely it is that you just show up and you watch whenever you can in your own time, because without you there would be no point in me doing this. So I'm so grateful to you and thank you so much. But my biggest thank you this morning goes to Laurie Fantasia for sending me some stars. Thank you so much. If you're watching in the replay or you're watching on Facebook, you can send me stars, and stars are 1 cent. So that would be wonderful to have your support, because it enables me to buy all the little crystals, the card decks, that supports me in coming to you with lots of free stuff. Because we all got to eat, haven't we? So thank you so much to Laurie for doing that. You'll see the little stars icon at the bottom of the page. And Barbara's just sent me some stars as well. Thank you, darling. I really appreciate that. So let me just backtrack and say good morning to everyone who's watching me live. And thank you to everybody who watches me on YouTube, because I always post these lives up there too. And Laurie has coffee, so that's a wonderful thing. Oh, do you know what? My milk had gone a bit sour in the fridge and I made a coffee with it, and I'm feeling a little bit like, a little bit grossed out by that. So I haven't enjoyed my coffee this morning as much as I would normally. Good morning to Jennifer Sylvia. Good morning to Carol Bell. To Julie Hans, who's sending me lots of rainbows as always. That's so sweet of you. Barbara Phipps, good morning to you. Good evening to you, gorgeous Nicole South. Thank you very much. Mel Roberts, good morning. Danielle Bowen, good evening to you, my love. Hello, Leslie Townley. How are you doing, my love? I've missed you. Julie Johnson says it keeps freezing. Does it keep freezing where you are? If it keeps freezing, come out, come back in again. You like the gold wings, do you, Paula? Good morning to you. Well, maybe you're drawn to those and you can choose those. Erica Gonzalez, good morning. I hope you're having a lovely morning too. Joy Cook, good morning. Magdalene Lewis, hello. Saw you at the weekend. It was lovely to see you. Shal Javat, good morning. Jane McGuinness, hello there. And hello to Janine Smelt and Nancy Zimmerman. And good evening to Christiane Cotterill. It's very exciting because you just got your Oracle board in Australia. So my Oracle board orderers in Australia, it means yours is on its way, because Christiane's in Melbourne. Is that right? Who else? Lindsay. Oh, Lynn Lay Allen. Good morning. And then I'm going to go right back to the beginning. And Lauren Bahar is here. I'm really glad you caught me too. Marcella Conlon, good morning to you, darling. And Colleen's watching. Good morning, good early morning. Mel Roberts is here, and Deirdre Cartmill Maginus. I hope I got that right. Good morning. So, how are we all doing? How are we doing on this full moon week, this eclipse week? Oh my. Anna Lule, good morning. And Joanna O'Donnell, thank you so much for the stars, my love. I really appreciate it. Haven't seen you for ages. Diane's choosing the pink wings. And Nicole's finally got a delivery date for her Oracle board. Yes, Glynis Hoskin, good morning to you. And that's so exciting that you're here with me. Okay, so we're talking eclipses. We're talking all things eclipses. So I've got a special message for you, and it's pick an angel wing pairing. So you can either have these kind of golden sparkly ones, orangey fiery kind of coloured angel wings, which is number 1. You can have the pearly white ethereal looking angel wings, which is number 2, or you can have the pink, it's kind of baby pink colour angel wings here. And those are number 3, but we will be coming back to those later. We're going to talk about the collective messages first of all. And Mel is saying your bedroom was filled with orbs last night. It was like a meteor shower. Well, lucky you. I don't see orbs. They never show me orbs, but I love seeing other people's experiences, hearing about their experiences. Sherry Daniels is here. Good morning to you, Sherry. How are you doing? And you're saying good morning to Shaz Evans. I'm not sure. I haven't seen Shaz, but hello, Michelle De Roche Mensa in Mystic, Connecticut. Is that the place where they film Mystic Pizza? I'm sure I've asked you that before. Shaz Evans is here, in fact. Good morning, Shaz. And Nicole McLean. I need to get my teeth back in properly, don't I? Oh my goodness. Oh my word. Sunil Shah's here as well. I will spend a little while saying good morning to everybody. Helen Quinn's here. Shall we get going? It's 2 minutes past 11. Jerry O'Kane's in the house as well. So hello, Jerry. So we're going to begin with collective messages from the Angel Tarot cards by Radley Valentine. I gotta love Radley Valentine. He's one of my favourite angel intuitives, angel people. Mel is saying it's the first time you've ever seen them in your bedroom. It was like you were filming a kitten playing and they were everywhere. Wow. Marilyn Robinson, good morning. Robertson. Oh, don't you hate it when somebody gets your name wrong? Sorry about that. Marilyn Robertson, good morning to you, my darling. And good morning to Lynn Hardy, who's just sent me some stars. Thank you so much, my love. So we have 3 cards whenever we've got an important lunar cycle going. And this is a really important lunar cycle, let me tell you. And then I'm going to use one of my Oracle of Wisdom and Beauty cards because they're mine and I like them, and let's use them. So I'll have one of these this morning. I'm going to pop that down there. So let's get into these general messages for the week and see what the angels want us to know about this very important week in the lunar landscape. The full moon eclipse in Taurus. Full moons are all about letting go. Eclipses are all about, you know, things that have eclipsed out of our lives being revealed because we're ready for them. Big changes can be on the way, endings, things coming to conclusion. Very, very important times for us, and they impact on the next 6 months of our lives as well. Bridget Fitzgerald, good morning. Jenny Cook, good morning to you. Okay, so our card which talks about the first part of the week. So we're talking Monday, Tuesday, a bit of Wednesday here. And this is the King of Air. So this is all about how dynamic you are in terms of your communication. This is a very important card for you, being able to speak up for yourself, to speak your truth, to be your authentic self. Because our authentic self's not always welcome, is it? In certain parts, it's not welcome. We talked about this on Angelic Circle on Saturday. That people want to hold us down, they want to hold us back, they want us to toe the line, they want us to believe the same things that we do, that they do. And sometimes we do that, don't we? I always remember my daughter going to school and wanting to dress exactly the same as all the other girls. You know, the certain way of wearing the uniform, the certain socks and all of that just to fit in. And we go through those phases in our lives, don't we? Where we want to fit in, where we think it's more trouble than it's worth being ourselves. Well, at the beginning of this week, you're not going to have any problem with that. Pauline Nicholson, good morning. You're just going to say, you know, I am what I am. You know that lovely song? Is it from the Birdcage? I am what I am. And I'm going to be me. And I'm representing me here in the world, because being me is really important. So we're not all cookie cutter, you know, clones of other people. We are ourselves. And it's really important for you to be yourself, to speak your truth. Now, you might have an important message to convey as well. So you might have written something that other people want to read. You might be teaching. You might be thinking about shining your light a little bit more brightly. You know, if you've got a social media platform and you're not posting on there because you're like, oh, does anybody want to hear what I've got to say? Well, it's really important that you don't doubt yourself. And I got told off about that in my angelic circle on Saturday because I was doing the same. So we're all going to stand up for who we are and what we believe in. And you're nearly ready for bed, Sonia, but you are loving watching the messages live. Well, I hope it don't keep you up too late. So good evening to you. So yeah, just be you and don't be afraid of that, because other people do want to hear from you. You're going to find your soul tribe. You're going to connect with that tribe this week, the beginning of this week. Loud and proud. That's what we're saying here. Teresa McElhill, good morning, darling. Becca and Anne Twig and Donna Bennett with a cup of tea in Canada. Good morning to you. So this represents further on into the week. Now, the eclipse is actually happening on the 19th. So it's the 15th today. So what would that be? Was that Thursday or Friday the eclipse is happening? Somebody tell me. Somebody grab a calendar. So I would say this second card, I wouldn't relate it to the eclipse. We're going to talk about the rest of the week with this card, and this can be our eclipse card, okay? So the second half of the week is very much about, oh, it's Friday, Danielle, thank you. Our emotions being heightened, us getting excited about something. So it does feel as though things are moving forward. And you know, eclipses, they really do shake things up in our world. Now, you might not see that instantly, but it feels as though this is fast-moving energy. This is fast-paced. This is the universe bringing it all forward, speeding things up. So somebody, you know, if you've spoken up, if you've had the courage to put yourself out there, somebody might be saying, wow, I just heard what you said and I think you're amazing and I want you to get involved in this. There's something about you that is electric. It's just fascinating. I want to know more. This can be romantically. This can be, you know, in any way it wants to show itself in your life. It's somebody speeding towards you, feeling very drawn to you, magnetized towards you, because what you're doing is you're being yourself, and when you are yourself, you're being rewarded for that by other people really getting you, gelling with you, connecting with you. Oh yes, see how being yourself is going to be so rewarding, and you're going to get really giddy about it. You might get swept along in the current of actually being me is okay, being me is wonderful, and I'm going to do more me. So I can feel all the giddiness and excitement from this. Maybe it's a new job. Maybe it's an offer from somebody. Is anybody else having problems with the video freezing? I think it might just be you, Julie. So yeah, if your video is freezing, come back in again. That usually sorts it out. Okay, so are we ready for the eclipse message? This is the message of the eclipses. It's going to be very powerful. Yes, Colleen. It's in Taurus. So before I turn this card over, Taurus represents the second house of the zodiac. And it's also something very closely connected with our value. The value that we have when we earn things. You know, the money that we earn through our own hand, through our own power. So this eclipse is all about you and your value and the value you can attain, how valuable you are. So what could be coming to an end, because eclipses at full moons are all about endings, new beginnings. It's about something's past its shelf life, something's past its sell-by date in your life, and it needs to have a reboot. It needs to be a new way of thinking, because the moon is our thoughts, our mind. It's a big internal shift. It's things that have been hidden from us. We can suddenly see them. So we've got the Page of Air. And I feel as though you're coming into your power in terms of going, you know what? I know my value and I'm going to fight for that value. So sometimes we used to care about rocking the boat. We used to care about upsetting other people. And what's coming to an end is this feeling of, oh, I'm not worthy of speaking up. I'm not worthy of fighting for what I believe in, or what I, that I want more out of life. It's like this unrest. And you feeling like, do you know what? I'm going to speak my truth. I'm going to be me. This is important and I'm protected. So some information could come to light as well. So the eclipse is all about things that are hidden, coming out of those dark places and being revealed to you, and then it's how you feel about that. So there could be some important communication that comes to light. So like Sonia said, somebody could get information about getting a job offer or going for an interview. And you could also hear news from somebody. They could get in touch with you. You could get a text or an email or a phone call. And it's just the power of this and what it does to you, but you're going to be acting upon it. So Colleen said you read an astrology that said, you read an astrology said, do you mean an astrologer said, the most powerful one in over 200 years? Yeah, quite possibly. They say that a lot. They do say that. But anyway, this is like piquing your curiosity. This is about you being brave enough to speak up, to stand up and be counted. I think there's a lot of, because we've got all of these very kind of fast moving, very communicative cards. It feels as though something is coming to light that is broadcast to you or relayed to you. And you will want to act upon that for sure. Now, one thing that I do want to say about the Page of Air, there's always a word of caution, and actually when combined with the Knight of Water too, because they're both very heady, very impulsive energies, these cards. And they involve other people. There's a lot of people-related stuff going on this week. That in your excitement to accept an offer, to jump on a bandwagon, to send a message to somebody, to say something that's on your mind, there is a lot of cosmic dust kicked up at eclipse time. And we're right in the middle of these two eclipses. So there's another one coming on the 4th of December, which brings even more news. And what that one does is it brings all the information, it brings the full picture. So we haven't got the entire picture because there's a new moon coming as well with an eclipse attached to it. And these are always connected like beads on a necklace. They have almost like the first and the second act. And so I would say don't get too impetuous because you haven't got the full picture and the cosmic dust is still kicking around. Let it settle. So after the 4th of December or the 5th of December, that's when you can really make big moves. So this is mellower energy than if we had lots of major arcana cards, which are the big miracles that are going on, the big shifts. Okay, so this card kind of sums up the energy of the eclipse for us, and it is all about people. Look at that. So isn't that interesting? And we've got reach an audience, share a space, and a shared vision as well. So when we look at, we've got the King of Air, who's a communicator, and he has an audience. We've got the Page of Air, who's communicating a message and has backup. Then we've got the Knight of Cups, who's always coming in, wanting to offer us something. And then we've got this card which is all about you almost being able to share your message in a wider way, but also connect with your tribe. This card always has this very tribal feel about it. It's like those people have no mouths. They're listening to you. They're curious. They're very patiently waiting for the next thing that's going to come out of your mouth because they just want to hear it. They're almost enticed by you. So if you're feeling lacking in confidence this week, don't be. Because I feel as though your words carry an awful lot of power and influence. And you've got a lot of courage as well. So really dig deep into that courage. So isn't that exciting? Ooh. So another exciting thing is we're going to have, because this is an eclipse, we're going to have a second message for the collective. Let me just move you over to the other side of my table. And we have got set up here Communication and community, absolutely, Colleen. We've got the Wheel of Abundance. I'm going to do a charm casting for the collective, for all of us, for this full moon lunar eclipse. I've never done this before, so this is exciting, isn't it, to actually have my oracle board. So this is the oracle board, the one that Christiane was talking about, that she just got delivered in Australia. So all the parcels are arriving a lot quicker than they have been doing. Thank the Lord for that. So on one side of the board we have the Wheel of Abundance, these beautiful angel wings, and all of these are the stars of the constellations of each of the 12 zodiac signs. So everybody's included in this board. And of course you have your birth chart, you have every single star sign within your birth chart, so you have the whole universe in your birth chart. And this wheel has 8 different segments in it, and those represent the 8 most important aspects of our life and us on a soul level. On the other side of the board, we have got oracle card spaces, and within this pack you also get the oracle board and Wheel of Abundance booklet with 16 card spreads, and also some information about how to do the charm casting and how to use the Wheel of Abundance. So that is what we're going to focus on today, the Wheel of Abundance. And so many of you have bought this and you've been sending me messages about how much you're loving it, which makes me so happy. So in your little pack you get 50 charms in a little bag. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do charm casting today for all of us to say what are the messages we need to hear for the eclipse. So you just go into the bag, you grab some charms, close my eyes and throw them onto the board. Okay, so let's have a little look at where those charms landed. Let me just go further down. So the first area that they landed in is business and career. And we have 2 charms in this area. So the first one is a butterfly. And butterflies are always about transformation. Now this one, because it's got a very thick body, it almost has a moth-like look about it. So there could be some kind of transformation ending coming with a career project or a piece of work that you've been doing, or maybe even, you know, coming to the end of a certain way of operating in your career and transforming into, we've got the starfish here, which is branching out. Because look, it's got those 5 hands or legs, and it wants to be bigger, it wants to go broader. So maybe where you've been specialising or narrowing yourself down into a certain corner in your career, and you maybe haven't had the opportunity or maybe the inspiration or the confidence to branch out further, this eclipse is bringing you those opportunities to reach more people and to have the confidence to fly higher. So isn't that wonderful? So it's a really good career eclipse, this, because it is in Taurus. And what I would say to you is, if an opportunity comes to an end, some avenue ends up being like a dead end for you, it's a good thing, because what it's enabling you to do is to go further, bigger. You've got lots of different opportunities coming your way. So do not fear. If something's withdrawn from your life, if something's eclipsed out of your life, it's for a good reason, because there's something better coming along. So that's really lovely news, isn't it, to hear. And Colleen says, your daughter loves your board. Oh, that's so nice to hear. Thank you. So then we have another charm that's landed in peace and spirituality. So peace and spirituality is another big factor, another big focus for all of us with this eclipse. And it's, you know, we've got this horse who's literally leaping, and you know they're really elevated, because look, their tail is in the air, they're running. It's like this is you advancing towards peace, advancing towards being elevated in your spirituality and being able to reach higher heights, racing towards finding that peace that you know there's a part of you somewhere that is connected to your conscious self, and you want to discover that, and you're getting very excited about finding your inner peace, moving away from shadowy things, moving away from things that have held you back, and being able to move forwards towards finding your place. And your spirituality is not all about burning incense and chanting and holding crystals. It is about us finding ourselves. It's about us connecting with the parts of our soul that, feel like they're missing. It's like going around collecting those and building the picture up that tells us why we're here and what were the important lessons that we had to learn, and being at peace with that, accepting that, which is a really beautiful message here. Then the final segment, so all three of these came up, they're all together, is love and joy. And we have the key, which also has at the top of it this lovely rose. Now, roses are one of the most high vibrational flowers. So scientifically everything has energy. And so scientists have found that they vibrate at the highest frequency. So rose-scented things, like essential oils, candles, are very good for helping you to connect with your highest vibrational self, the loving self, the one that believes that you deserve to be loved, to be joyful, to love yourself unconditionally. And then when we can do that, we can love anything and anyone. When we're connected to our joy, I've always said this, that we can then make the world a better place, because when we're super happy, we're a lot nicer people, aren't we? When you wake up in the morning, you're really happy, you smile at people, you do nice things for people, life goes more smoothly. And can you imagine if everybody you ran into was caring and kind and joyful? That would be the default energy, wouldn't it? And we couldn't help but be carried along on the crest of that beautiful wave. So the key is to love and joy is you connecting to your highest vibration. And this is what this eclipse is doing for all of us. It's helping to remove some of those things that we no longer need. And when we get rid of the clutter, we can see the important things in life, what's important to us. So isn't that lovely? What lovely messages. So I hope you enjoyed those. So let's move back to our individual messages. I'm going to bring you down a little bit lower. So I raised you up for that so we could see the oracle board. And if you go to my online shop, I will leave a link. You can get the whole set of the oracle board. It is really a complete labour of love and joy, my oracle board. So did you choose number 1, which is like the fiery angel wings? Did you choose number 2, which is the white kind of pearlescent looking angel wings? Or did you choose number 3, which are those lovely delicate pink? This is like the colour of the angelic realm, I always feel. So the first ones, this is Archangel Zadkiel that you've tapped into here. Zadkiel is the angel who helps us to be patient in bringing towards us all of those things that we want to magnify in our lives, the things that we want to create that hold so much promise for us. And Zadkiel's here saying to you, yes, you can have it all. And particularly you're going to see big developments, big strides forward when we get into Sagittarius season, because Zadkiel is the ruler, the guardian of the star sign of Sagittarius. And Sagittarius season begins around the 21st of November, so not long to wait at all for you. And you could see big developments coming up in your life from the 21st of November through to about the 20th of December. So your message, and this card is this beautiful deck called the Gateway Oracle Cards by Denise Lynn. And your first card is taking action. Now that really fits in with that Zadkiel energy, Jupiter, Sagittarius, because Jupiter is the ruling planet of the star sign of Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is the archer. It's often depicted like a centaur running towards a goal with its bow and arrow, shooting that bow and arrow and believing that it can have everything it wants. And this is you saying, I am enthusiastically embrace life's boundless possibilities, and you'll see those possibilities becoming more real, more obvious when we get to, as I said, from the 21st of November onwards. You'll be able to leap across that water. You're not going to have to wade in there and get your feet wet. You're just going to soar. And look, even that tree is bowing in reverence to your bravery and your willingness to take action. Isn't that beautiful? So I just want to, before I go on, just say thank you to Claudia for the stars. Thank you so much. And to Linda Biles as well. And to Carol, who's sent me some stars. Thank you so much for being so kind. If I've forgotten anybody, I will come back and thank you later in the comments. So your second card is from this deck, which is the Queen of the Moon Oracle. And when we're having a lunar cycle like this one, I always like to bring these cards out because I have the moon phases on the back of them. And your message is nourishment. Look at that. So we have the number 7, which is all about purpose. And we've got an abundance of nourishment coming your way. Look, there, the moon is cheese, and then there's milk flowing down from that moon. We've got some bread there. We've got all these flowers, these lovely fruit and vegetables. It's like there's an abundance of nourishment. So take what you need is what the universe is saying to you. Take action when that bounty, when that plenty is revealed to you. Go after it. And you might have to be patient for a little bit longer, but only a smidgen longer. And then you're going to see all of the things that are abundantly available to you because you were brave enough to take action, and because you deserve those things as well, which is really lovely. They are really beautiful details on the artwork, aren't they? Colleen, really lovely. So I hope you've enjoyed those messages, number 1s. Now, if you chose number 2, this is a message from Archangel Haniel, who is, she has moonstone as her crystal because she's the guardian of the moon, and she's particularly prominent when it comes to this full moon eclipse. So Haniel's a very mysterious angel. She visits us in our dreams. She helps us to connect to the energy of birthing things, of believing in ourselves in terms of our inner knowing and our intuition. So it's like, don't doubt yourself. You may be getting some very important psychic messages coming to you as part of this full moon eclipse, and then you might be thinking, where did that come from? Did I just imagine that? But you are being encouraged to act upon it, or to trust yourself, because this is about, believing is seeing and not the other way around. Good morning, Susie. How are you doing? So it's really important that you trust yourself, that you trust in the divine, and that you're going to be guided in the right direction, because you always are. When you think about it, everything always turns out well in the end, doesn't it? So your first card comes from this deck of cards from the Gateway Oracle cards. And your message, there you go. You see, they always tie in, don't they, beautifully? And I'm a little bit shocked myself when I see what I've just said coming out of my mouth appearing on the card in front of me. So look at that. We've got this top hat, the magician's hat, believing in magic. These look a little bit like the charms from the casting, don't they? So, when we go back to the Wheel of Abundance, we've got these 8 segments of your life. Where are you honing your dreams? Where are you focusing? What do you want to manifest? Because you can have everything. Where do you want to scatter those charms in your life? Your affirmation is, true magic is abounding in my life. And it is, you are magical. Never, ever forget that. And Archangel Haniel wants to remind you about that. And then the Queen of the Moon card for you is the Path, number 8. And number 8 is the number of power. It's also the number which is connected to, there's a card in the tarot called the Magician. And he often has this infinity symbol where he says, as above, so below. So it's basically, the meaning of that is, whatever you believe in your mind, you can see in that becoming reality, because it starts in your mind and then it becomes real. Everything starts in the 5D and it can be translated into the 3D, the tangible. Now, she is standing there looking at this very rocky landscape, but she'd rather be here. Those are her dreams. But she's got to have the courage to walk up this ladder, and that ladder looks a bit wonky. She's like, do I believe that that will carry my weight? Do I believe that that is safe? Well, nothing's ever safe, my loves. We're going to take some risks. You can't leap a chasm in 2 jumps. You just got to go for it. And that is the path. The path is facing your fears, doing it anyway, you know, trusting, because the third eye chakra is being activated here with Archangel Haniel. It's trust. Okay? It's trusting that you will be served, that that ladder is functional enough to carry you there. And sometimes that's the test. You know, the universe puts something in front of us at the time of the eclipse and goes, go on then. And you're like, no, I'm scared. Because you don't trust that you're being delivered to a higher place and that you will get there safely. Okay, so there's a really strong message for you. And Laurie's just said you better cut out the ice cream. Yep, no more Ben and Jerry's for you if you're going to climb that ladder. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that message. And then finally, my number 3s with the pink. And this beautiful pair of pink angel wings is the light of Archangel Jophiel. And she is the angel of joy. She's the angel of wishes. She's the angel of high vibration. And helping us to think positively, to be in the moment, to enjoy the moment, and to be joyful, just like Jophiel is kind of joy. And she also wants us to get creating something new, to give birth to something new. So what have you been thinking about creating? What new things would you like to bring into your life? What wishes would you like to manifest? Jophiel's all ears. She wants to know, and she can help you at this full moon eclipse. She's also the angel who's the guardian of the planet Venus, and Venus rules Taurus, and the full moon is in Taurus. So how good is that? So your first card from the Gateway Oracle cards is Flying Free. So look at that lady. She has her hands around this bird, and the bird is traveling. It's delivering her. It's helping her to fly and to get to wherever she wants to go to. And your affirmation is, I unfurl my wings and fly. Liza Harris says, wow, that's my birth sign too. There you go. As I said right at the beginning, if you missed it, if you have your sun, you know, your main star sign is Taurus, like my daughter, like my mum, or if you have your, if you know your rising sign or your moon sign, if you have those in Taurus, or any planets in the second house, which is the home of Taurus, then this is a big full moon for you. So unfurl your wings and fly, my loves. Isn't that a beautiful message? And then your second message comes from the Queen of the Moon Oracle, and it is realization, which is the number 3. And there is a beautiful keyhole. And again, she's standing there surveying the scene, going, you know, I'm in this dark place, but there is a keyhole. There is everything that I want. I'm right on the cusp of realizing that. And 3 is the number of joy. It's the number of community. There is a sense of freedom coming for you. You don't have to stand there and, you know, say, oh, where's the key to let me through the door? Because you can walk through the door. This is like, what's that film where they make them downsizing, isn't it? Where they make them really tiny. And they can realise they can have a better life because when they sell all their possessions, they're so tiny that everything costs a lot less. And, you know, when they sell a wedding rings, for example, they can buy themselves, you know, a huge mansion, and they only need tiny little rings from the gold. So, yeah, this is about you realising, actually, I'm small enough to go through that keyhole. I'm waiting around for somebody to unlock it, when actually I can go through that. I am free. I'm freer than I believe myself to be. And that's what Jophiel wants you to do is to be in the moment and to look around you and see everything that you already have and all of the possibilities available to you. So I'm feeling like these have been such beautiful, very positive messages for the full moon eclipse. Now we know that the universe is a little bit rough and tumble. It doesn't always deliver things in a very elegant way to us. So whatever bumps and bruises that it does apply to you along the way, just accept everything and know that there's a higher purpose for it. And hopefully the universe will be kind and loving to you as you go through these transitions towards whatever is right for you at the other side of it. So good luck everyone with the full moon eclipse. And if you want to order my oracle board, if you're really interested in that, with the charm casting and everything, then I'm going to link that in the comments for you. But have a wonderful week, and sending you lots of love and angel blessings. And thank you everybody for your support and for the stars today. I really appreciate you.